Today I'm going to demonstrate Gritt, the grid template tool. To get started, I'll insert my first container. Into that container, I will insert a cell, and I'll bring up the property window for that cell and give it an ID of header, width of 12 columns, and I will call the position header also. I'll insert another container. Into this container, I'll also add a single cell. This time the cell will be my menu with a width of 12 columns, and the position will also be menu. I'll add yet another container, this time adding two cells, the first of which will be my sidebar. Sidebar will have a width of 3 columns, and that's about it for the sidebar. Content is the next cell. This one will have a width of 9 columns, and the position will also be called content. Note that when you name a position content, it indicates to Gritt that PHP code should be generated in the index.php file to pull in the main content of your website into your web page. I'll add one more container. This time I'll add a cell, and that cell will be my footer. It's going to have a prefix of 2 and a suffix of 2. The width here will be 8. The position is going to be footer. Now I want to stop and mention that prefix and suffix indicate that you want additional margin added to the beginning prefix or end suffix of the cell. In this case, we're adding 2 columns of margin at the beginning and 2 columns of margin at the end. Click OK, and here is my footer sitting in the middle of the page with margins on both sides, just as we asked for it. Now I'm going to insert several child cells into my sidebar. The first is going to be my search box. It'll be 3 columns wide. Position will be search. The position names can be anything. I just happen to have modules assigned to positions already in my Joomla setup that correlate to the names that I'm using. This cell is going to be an alpha cell. Alpha indicates that the 10 pixels of margin that exist on the left-hand side of the child cell will be removed, thus aligning that cell with the left edge of its parent cell. I'll click OK, and now you can see what I mean. That cell is aligned to the left versus before we had a little bit of margin there on the left side. The next cell is going to be my login box with a width of 3, also an alpha cell. And the last cell will be my stats area, 3 columns wide, and another alpha. Okay. There, I've got pretty much everything I want for this basic web page. I'm going to go ahead and save that, and I'll call it demo. The page is saved, so now I'll jump over to Joomla. I'll go to extensions, install, uninstall, and in the install from directory box, the second box here, I'm going to indicate that I want to look at Gritt templates demo, and ask Joomla to install the demo template. which it does so successfully. And now we'll go to Extensions, Template Manager. And there I will select Demo and make that my default template. And click the Preview button. And here is my web page. There's the heading that I specified. Here is the menu, my search box, login information, and here on the bottom of my sidebar, I have my statistics. At the very bottom of the page, I've got my footer, and last but not least, here in the middle I have my 9 columns of main content. Well, there you have it. That is the essence of the Gritt system. Please go ahead and download a copy and try it for yourself and see just how easy it makes building a Joomla template.